Kerry Sullivan here with another howtokickass.sales.com tip of the day, and today's all about what to do if you're dealing with someone who's very, very intimidating. So I got a question from a young lady who was in sales, and she said sometimes she has to deal with people who are very intimidating, and she was telling me about a specific male client, and this guy had tattoos, and he was loud, and he was big, and basically doing everything but beating his chest and being aggressive about the way he talked and negotiated and everything else, and she was just really intimidated by this. And this can be intimidating for anyone, really. So here's how you handle these situations specifically. And so I can tell you from my experience in athletics, played a number of different sports my whole life. I've competed, I'm still competing. I've competed at the professional level, everything else. So one of the things is I've competed up against a lot of guys. Some people look really intimidating, you deal with a lot of trash talking, all that other stuff. And I can tell you from experience that the people who come off with the most bravado on the front end, banging their chest, yelling, screaming, all the tattoos, everything else, they're usually the biggest bitches out there. All right, they're usually the biggest bitches out there. So don't be intimidated by this. And I'll give you backup by this. When I was racing at a lot of different races in my 20s, about once a year I would get approached by Navy SEALs or PJs or other special forces units, and they would talk to me. They'd be like, hey, have you ever thought about potentially, doing something with us, joining us or whatever? And I was never interested, but I asked them specifically, why is it they kept coming after me? And they said, well, just like your background and everything else. When they talked with me, they're like, you tend to be the people they get through there tend to get through the training more than other people statistically, all right? I'm not saying that I could get through it, but just statistically, I would have a better chance or whatever. So, but they were telling me that the guys that come in, and they said the same thing, that the big musclehead guys banging their chest with all the tattoos, yelling and screaming and whatever, they're usually gone within the first 5 days. And it's no different with the people that you're dealing with. Now, I'm not saying that you go out there and you be aggressive with them back or whatever, but you stand your ground, you be firm on everything else. But the reason that they are doing this is really because they are insecure. They're really insecure. And you can also find this in other sports. If you look at top guys who are top wrestlers or Brazilian jiu-jitsu guys, the top guys are very calm. They've basically figured out, they've proven to themselves that they can do stuff, and they've figured out that they don't have to go out there and have this bravado. So you have to remember this in the back of your mind. You still got to handle the sale the same way. Just keep doing your same thing. Let them be aggressive, let them yell, let them bang their chest, let them get that out. But in the end of the day, they're really not half as tough as they think they are, okay? So just remember that when you're going into those deals, just handle it the same way, and just know and have that silent confidence that that guy or woman who is making that big pouting and all that big scene, they're nothing but a little bitch inside. So I'll see you on the next one.